Nothing changes in January. Time doesn't create an identity. Months don't create an identity. Only decisions do. If something in you knows that you're meant for more, that you're done circling these same old patterns and you're ready to upgrade your identity in the most incredible way, then this is your invitation to start now. Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Pursuit of Myself. I'm excited to be here mid-December towards the end of the year, and I have this message for you. If you are limping over the line, if I have one more person say in my DMs that they're just surviving till the end of the year, that you are white-knuckling it till you get a break, I'm telling you now, there is something in your life that's out of alignment. This is not how we should or could be living. There is other ways. We don't have to live by hanging out for everything to be done so that you can find space. We don't have to live in this world of constant demands and responsibilities. We can hold a duality of life. We can be in chaos and in the season of chaos and also find beautiful space for ourselves. We can be grieving and also find moments of joy. We can be having so much demands on our time and our energy and still be working on ourselves. We can be enjoying life and partying and drinking and enjoying events and still be looking after our health. The people that are the most successful people in life, the most, find duality because they don't make excuses and they don't make reasons for why their life isn't the way that they want it to be. They are constantly moving the needle and constantly putting things in place to be better, do better, to create, to be healthier, to heal, to find, to grow, to expand. Life doesn't start and stop with chaos. We might be in seasons, but you can still hold space for yourself in those seasons. You can still grow. You can still say yes to doing the work on yourself right now on the 17th of December and not wait for this magical date in January to come to change your identity. You can make the choice at any moment. And I can guarantee you the women that I see that are making the choices now are the ones that are making change and moves in their life. They're the ones that are going to be building the businesses. They're the ones that are finding the partners. They're the ones that are healing because they are not doing it, or they're doing it despite the fact that they're still doing the work on the other end. They're choosing themselves. They're choosing their upgrade. They're choosing the identity, and they're choosing it now. And that is what I want to inspire anyone listening to this podcast. Don't wait. Start. Your future self, your future is waiting for you to step into it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what this podcast is about today. You are going to walk away with the most incredible 5-step system and nuggets to be upgrading your identity to have what you want. And the work can start now. Enjoy. Welcome to the Pursuit of Myself, the podcast. Here we take ownership of our healing. We rewrite the rules, we turn knowledge into wisdom, and we lead our lives with intention. I'm your host, Rayne, and it's my mission to empower you to get back into the driver's seat of your life. So it's important to know that everything touches everything, right? Your money, your relationships, your standards, your exhaustion, your confidence. None of this actually lives in isolation. Energy leaks everywhere, no matter what you convince yourself of, whether you're holding shame and guilt, whether you're excelling in one area and not in the other, everything touches everything. And it will be having an effect on matter. None of this lives in isolation. And if you're listening to this thinking, well, I've done the work, so why does it feel like I'm stuck? Then this episode is for you, because what looks like a money problem is rarely actually a money problem. What looks like a confidence issue isn't a confidence issue. It's identity. And today I want to walk you through the 5 identity upgrades I've had to make over and over again in my own life. And the same 5 upgrades I take women through when they're actually ready for real change. And I'm not talking surface change. I'm not talking mindset hacks, but real embodied nervous system expansion level change. I also want to say that I don't teach this stuff just from theory. I haven't learned it from a book. Yes, I've had mentors and coaches and done millions of courses and studied, etc. But this stuff right now that I'm going to teach you today, I don't learn this from theory. I teach this because I've rebuilt my identity over and over again, repeatedly, after divorce, after financial collapse, after shame, after becoming a single mother, after starting and losing businesses, after rebuilding again and again and again. And every single time my life stopped working, it wasn't because I wasn't trying hard enough. It wasn't because I wasn't capable. It wasn't because, even on the other spectrum, that I was lazy. Like, it was because the identity I was living from could no longer hold what it was I was trying to create. I was performing. I was wearing a mask. And if the thing that I was trying to create needed authenticity, it needed truth, it needed honesty, and it needed an up-level upgrade in identity, because the person that I was then is not the person that I am now. And every single day we need to look at this, because your nervous system, it will always pull you back to what feels like familiar. It's not what you desire, but it's how you feel. And that's where we need to work, at this core level, not the blueprint, not the strategy, but we need to work at this core level, because what you desire desires you, but you need to have the identity, the standards to actually match it. So if you're listening to this, this is so interesting, because I want you to know that it's not because you aren't trying, right? The women I work with try really, really, really hard, but it's almost become, the trying has become their identity. The trying has become who they are showing up as over and over again, regardless of what the results they're getting. It's like, you get to sit in this, but I'm trying. And they're exhausted because they are constantly trying to be confident, trying to make more money, trying to fix a marriage, trying to be successful, trying to heal from devastation, trying to get it right, trying to be perfect, trying to be the good girl, right? But trying actually comes from proving that we're worthy. And if I do that thing, then I'm going to get that thing. So then I'm worthy. Trying, the energy of trying comes from proving, and proving keeps your nervous system anchored in, I am not there yet. I am not good enough. And this is what we need to address. Because when we're coming from that vibrational frequency, we cannot manifest and create something that already is bigger than what we are experiencing right now, because we are so used to being stuck in the trying. So that actually brings me to my first shift. If you're walking, or if you're sitting and listening, get a pen and paper or get your phone out, because this is really, really important. I'm going to take you through the 5 upgrades that you need to go from where you are now to where you want to be, because this is all identity work. So the upgrade number 1, we need to go from trying to being, right? Trying says, I'll be confident when, I'll feel worthy when, I'll relax when. And being says, this is who I am now. And the identity always needs to come before the behavior. I think it was Jim Fortin who is the be, do, have, right? The be, do, have models. Who you be determines what you do, and that determines what you have, right? And I'll say that again. Who you be, so who you rock up to in every part of your world right now, determines what you do. So if we are rocking up with the identity of not enough, I'm not confident, I'll do it when, that is the energy that you're doing from, which is the pushing, the trying, the hustling, the trying to keep it all together, right? And that actually determines what you have. So we need to shift the trying to being. This is a big, big shift we need to make. I'm trying to make more money, to a woman who knows how to lead, save, spend, and respect money, right? We need to be that now. The brain always wants certainty, right? Before we make these changes, the brain wants to know that it's going to be safe. But we have to practice being now before we can actually have what we want, so that we change our behavior and identity now to match what we're calling in, right? So we need to go from I'm trying to feel confident to I am a woman who trusts herself. Trying keeps you hustling. Being creates a stability and a foundation in your life that you can actually work from. So that is the first upgrade. We need to go from trying to being. So what can you do in your life now to be who you need to be to have what you want? Because that is what will change your action. That will change how you're showing up. That's step 1. The upgrade number 2, we need to go from people pleasing to self-leadership, right? Everything touches everything. The way you people please in relationship is the way you people please with money, is the way you people please in your job. And the people pleasing is a form of manipulation. If I do this for you, you will like me. If I do that for the family, then I feel safe. If I do that thing for that person, yeah, they'll like me. If I only charge this at work, and this is something I work with my clients, if I only charge this, they'll hire me. We attach a worth to money. If I hold everything together and do everything for my family, he won't leave and I'll feel safe. This is not, people pleasing doesn't come from a generosity of heart. It comes from survival. It comes from manipulation. It comes from, I don't want to look bad. And I know this well because it's one of the things that I see so many people identify as. I am a people pleaser. Actually, the big one that's going around now is I'm a recovering people pleaser. What does that even mean? How can you actually gain more sovereignty over your choices, decisions, and the way you move? How do you get out of survival? Because people pleasing is the belief that I must abandon myself to be chosen. Self-leadership, when we switch this, says I can be myself and still be chosen. And here's the truth most women avoid. Money mirrors your ability to be chosen without abandoning yourself. Your relationships mirror your ability to be chosen without abandoning yourself. When you stop negotiating your worth and stop manipulating the way people see you to feel safe, your money, your relationships, and opportunities in your life recalibrate. Because when we allow that energy of, I have to abandon myself to feel safe, that identity says, I am not worthy of having what I want, because having what I want, I don't know what that feels like, and that is not safe to me yet. The brain is saying, I need evidence that if I maybe upset you, or if I don't do 50,000 things for you, if I do something that isn't in everyone else's best interest but my own, then they're going to abandon me and go. One, we don't know that. Two, if we operate from that identity, what are you doing? You are sitting there, keeping yourself small, keeping a lid on it, keeping a glass ceiling in your business, right? Your worth needs to stop being negotiated so that you can stop negotiating the energy of money, relationships, and the opportunities will recalibrate and come. So the third identity upgrade that I want to speak into is avoidance to decisive action. Again, another really, really big one, because avoidance is sneaky. Avoidance is the one that just kind of sits there under the surface, like it's not obvious, but it just hangs around. You put it to the side. I'll do that later. I'll have the conversation. It doesn't look like nothing. Avoidance can also look like planning, preparing, waiting to feel ready. I'm planning next year. I just need more clarity. Maybe I'll start in January. But planning is a symptom of avoidance when there is no movement attached to the planning. So avoidance isn't laziness. Before we keep going, I want to speak to the woman who's listening to this episode and feeling that pull in her chest. The woman who knows she's outgrown the identity she's been living inside. If you're realizing that your success has been built from just enough, or you can feel yourself in these patterns of overfunctioning, chasing, minimizing your brilliance, this is your invitation. The Myself Academy applications are officially open. This is my 6-month identity, emotional leadership, and wealth capacity mentorship for the entrepreneurial woman who is done surviving her own life and ready to actually lead it. We don't do surface level mindset. We don't do affirmations. We rebuild the woman behind the business so she can hold more money, more expansion, more ease, more self-respect without collapsing into old patterns. If you're listening and thinking, this is me, this is the work I've been avoiding, then it probably is. You can apply or learn more by sending me a DM on Instagram with the word enough. All right. Let's get back into the episode, because when we avoid something, it's not lazy. It actually puts us in a heightened state, but it is a huge lack of trust. And when we don't have trust, when we can't move with trust, when we can't upgrade identity to match what we want, we stay stuck in avoidance. We stay stuck in the planning. I mean, how many of you guys have messaged me in DMs with a word saying ready or this or that and then ghosted? How many of you have jumped onto a masterclass, got so much out of it, and then done nothing with it? Maybe you've learned something in these podcasts and you sat there all inspired, and then again, you wake up 6 months later and everything's the same. Planning without movement is avoidance. Avoiding doing the work is avoidance. And that's why it is so sneaky, because your body will always choose the familiar hell over an unfamiliar future. That's the saying. The better the devil you know, isn't it? Better the devil you know than the devil you don't know. Your body will always choose it over and over again because unfamiliar future is not safe. But this is where we upgrade our identity now to start making our body nervous system to feel safe about our unfamiliar future. That is the key. So here's the reframe. Action actually creates clarity. Movement creates evidence, and confidence is built after the step, not before. So the avoidance is stopping you from going through that framework. We need to take action to create clarity. Without action, it's like, I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. We just sit there. And then that movement creates the evidence that, hey, that one step that I took, that's actually pretty good. That next step that I stood, that feels really good too. I can actually face my uncomfortable, unfamiliar future. I can look at that fear and I'm actually going to be okay. I don't have to avoid it. But to get out of avoidance, you have to take action. And decisive action tells your nervous system, I trust myself to handle what comes next. That is where confidence is built. You cannot sit here and confidence is going to smack you over the head and say, there, you're ready. Confidence is built when we start developing our trust with ourselves that we will be able to handle the next thing that happens, what comes next. So that is huge. So the upgrade number 4, ladies and gentlemen, is from survival to expansion. How many of us are living in survival at the moment? Honestly. And I did this little exercise with my Myself Method group. And it was, what do you do for joy? What do you do to be happy? Like, what do you step into joy? Well, just the usual things. I see my girlfriends. I have a wine. I do this. It's like, okay. So that there is survival. That does not look like aliveness. That does not look like joy. That just looks like tick box, happy, joy. That doesn't look, that's it. And that's how you know you're in survival, because when you're out of survival, when you're in expansion, when you're in aliveness, when you're in creativity, you're like, I'm going to go do that over there. Oh my God, have you seen this? Like, let's go. Maybe it's not jump out of a plane. I was going to say jump out of a plane and pull myself. Maybe it's I'm going to go for that hike and I'm going to book into that thing and I'm going to go over there and I'm going to do things that actually fill my soul and fill my cup and make me feel alive. That is how you know you're in expansion and aliveness. When you're just doing these little things for little moments of joy. Yes, I'm not saying we need to like not do them, not sit outside in the sunrise and have a cup of tea and all the joy, right? But that is not alive. That is not being in survival and expansion. And is being in survival. So survival mode looks like overworking, over facilitating yourself. So you have no time, freezing, fawning, self-sabotage. That is what survival mode looks like. Not being able to find your joy, using the happiness as the general little moments that you can find, which yes, are a great step, I said, but they are not aliveness and expansion. And what are we here to do? Are we here to just exist and find little moments of joy? Yes, we're grateful for that. Or are we here to thrive and expand and feel alive and have great sex and make lots of money and parent and have moments with our children and feel deep connection in our marriage? Like, what are you here to do? And the biggest thing with survival and expansion, when we look at it like this, is things like money, wounds are rarely about money. They're about worthiness, trust, provision. And it's the same with love. Your love, your connections, whether they're good or bad, are rarely actually about love. It's rarely actually about what you're experiencing. There are wounds and there are things there that are stopping you from experiencing the aliveness that I know that you desperately deserve to experience. It's the same with visibility, being seen. It's the same with leadership. All these wounds in these areas are rarely about the actual area. They are about your worthiness. So you can't manifest or you can't step into a new identity when your body doesn't feel safe holding it. So this is where manifestation gets manipulated, right? When we go from survival to expansion, when we're in survival, we can still be in survival when we're meditating, when we're journaling, when we're going to church, when we're doing things like that. But who are you being when no one is watching? And we manipulate manifestation. It's like, meditated, so it should be here. I journaled, why hasn't it arrived yet? And the beautiful thing about life and expansion and aliveness and grace is that it isn't earned. You actually get to live it every single day when you wake up. You get to live in that and love on that, but you have to choose it. You have to choose your own expansion, because expansion happens when your body learns it's safe for me to have what I want. We cannot lean on a life where we need to earn everything. We need to be it, experience it, love it, give grace, give gratitude, knowing that it will come back tenfold and it is safe for you to have what you want. That is how we go into expansion. When we stop abandoning ourselves, when we get out of survival mode and actually start choosing what we do behind closed doors. I mean, there are plenty of people that go to church and they're still a-holes, but because they go to church, they feel like they've put a gold star on their chest, right? Who are you being behind closed doors? What is your energy saying? Are you in expansion or are you in survival? So we have to find safety in the expansion when we're deciding what we actually want. Okay, so upgrade number 5, from low standards to non-negotiables. Your standards tell the truth about who you believe you are. People will meet you at the standard that you set for yourself, and that is a big take a deep breath and swallow moment. People will meet you at the standards that you allow and that the standards you set for yourself. That is it. That is where self and radical self-responsibility come from. Your standards tell the truth, not your goals, not your intentions, not going to church, not meditating. It is what you tolerate that sets your standards. It's how you show up and allow people to treat you, how you treat others. That sets your standards. So have a look at the mirror in your life at the moment. What is showing up? Are people treating you in the high standard that you allow or that you enforce or that you encourage? Or are they treating you in a way and you're going, oh God, they're just assholes and they don't treat me nicely, but you're still showing up? People will treat you in a manner of wherever you have set your standards, right? And this goes for in business, with your bosses, in relationships. This goes for your own business as well. The standards that you set, what are you allowing fly in your business? How much you're charging? The type of clients that you work with. This happens in relationships in life because standards aren't arrogance. And this is a big thing that we can get caught up in the humanness of it all. When we say these are my standards, we can go into the, oh, well, that's selfish or that's up yourself or whatever it is. But I don't believe any of that. Standards are, hey, this is my identity. Like I expect you to treat me with respect, just how I am treating you. Right? Standards are not arrogance. They're actually a form of self-respect. And we're saying that if you want to upgrade your identity, you have to upgrade your standards so that people meet you in the identity that can hold whatever it is that you're calling in. I hate the whole boss mode, boss babes and CEO babe and all that crap. I get, but that actually gives you a visual of what standards you can work with. At least it gives you that. What standards and identity do you need to embody as the person that already has what they're wanting? And these standards, they're set in micro moments. How you speak to yourself, what you tolerate, whether you keep your own word to yourself, what you say yes to, what you finally say no to. These are how we meet and increase our standards so that we can lead ourselves from that new identity, because every micro moment teaches the world how to treat you. And this includes every micro moment with how you treat yourself. Very, very important. So the core truth to all of this is that you don't earn the life that you want, right? You embody it. You actually have to start being it and living it now. Who you are behind closed doors, who you are when no one is watching, who you are when it's uncomfortable. That is what creates your reality. And the most powerful word, or words I should say, that you can start embodying and you can start working with right now is I am. The I am statement. And if you've worked with me before, you'll know this, because most women are unconsciously affirming that I am tired. I am broke. I am alone. I am behind. I am not safe. And your body listens. Your whole life will rearrange itself around your I am statement. So if you want to start upgrading your identity, go through my 5 steps and put together your I am statement now. I am great with money. I am a conscious consumer. I am a loving partner. I am a great communicator. I am healthy. I am fit. I'm committed to my health. Whatever it is for you, I have energy. I'm inspired, because words carry spells and your body listens and then your whole life listens. So write some I am statements and start living by them. Because there comes a moment in every woman's life where she has to choose her hard, right? Not the dramatic life fall down hard, but the quiet kind, the hard of raising your standards, the hard of being honest, the hard of acting before you feel ready. Because nothing changes in January. Time doesn't create an identity. Months don't create an identity. Only decisions do. And if something in you knows that you're meant for more, that you're done circling these same old patterns and you're ready to upgrade your identity in the most incredible way, then this is your invitation to start now. Don't consume another podcast, reel, whatever, masterclass, and do nothing. This is your invitation to start now because you are it. The buck stops with you. You have always been it. And you can experience, even if your life is incredible now, you can text that moment you decide to upgrade into the person that you need to be so that you can have exactly what you are here to have: more aliveness, more income, more intimacy, more joy, more experience, whatever that looks like for you. I just want you to know that it's possible. So I love you. I'm here for you. May this spark something deep inside of you that you can really sink your teeth into. And as always, I have incredible women in my community that I am adding to every single day. And if you are listening to this and thinking, holy crap, I would love to have some support from Rayne. I'd love to know what inside her programs look like. I'd love to be part of a community to be supported and held. I'd love to break through that glass ceiling in my business. I'd love to find more connection in myself and in my marriage and in my parenting. Then this is the place for you. Send me a DM, get in contact with me somehow, but take action because you are it and your future self, your future life, your future reality are counting on you. Let's go.